Good morning, students. In the previous video, we spoke about the two elements of weather. One was temperature and the other one was atmospheric pressure. And we also did the working of the instruments. I had sent you the YouTube links of both the instruments for temperature as well as for atmospheric pressure. So the third element which we are going to talk about today is humidity. Now, what is humidity? I think most of you know actually that the amount of water vapor which is present in the atmosphere at any point of time is called as humidity. And there are two types of humidity. One is absolute, that means whatever amount of water vapor is present in the air at any given temperature. Supposing if I am making a video right now and if I measure the amount of water vapor present in the air of my study, that will be called as absolute humidity, and it is measured in grams per cubic meter. And the second type of humidity is relative humidity. That means the ratio of the actual amount of water vapor present in the air to the maximum carrying capacity at the same temperature. And this is expressed in percentage. Meaning, if I measure in my study what is the amount of water vapor present at this point of time and compare it with what amount of water vapor can be present. If I compare the two, then I'm talking about relative humidity. And it is clear from the word relative. Relative means in relation to. So that means you're comparing two objects or two quantities, and that is called as your relative humidity, and this is expressed in percentage. Now, humidity, of course, will be higher in the coastal areas and it will be lowest in the desert areas. It will be higher in the coastal areas for the simple reason that the sea water is present there and a lot of evaporation will happen. And when a lot of evaporation will happen, the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere will keep on increasing. And in deserts, since there is hardly any water body around, there is hardly any moisture present on the ground, therefore the amount of evaporation will be less and automatically the amount of humidity will also be less. The instrument which is used to measure the relative humidity is known as hygrometer, which is also called as wet and dry bulb thermometer. I'll be extending the YouTube link for the working of this instrument as well. And the next element is precipitation. Now, the precipitation is whatever amount of humidity is present in the atmosphere, it will condense, and when it will condense, it will form clouds, and that droplet of water will fall on the surface of the earth. That is called as precipitation. So there are two processes involved. Sorry, there are three processes involved for precipitation. One, of course, the water has to evaporate from the water bodies and go up into the atmosphere. Once it has been added to the atmosphere, it changes back to tiny droplets of water, which we call as condensation. And these tiny droplets of water become big drops of water and come back to the surface of the earth as precipitation. So that is a kind of your water cycle which is happening, and we have two type of precipitations: liquid rainfall and solid hail and snow. And recently, I think in Dehradun we've been watching a lot of hail happening along with the rainfall, so we can see the liquid and solid precipitation happening in Dehradun in the past few days together. And to measure the amount of rainfall or hail or snowfall, we use the instrument which is called as the rain gauge. And I think most of you have already studied how the rain gauge occurs or how does it work. The next element which we are going to talk about is winds. We all have experienced it. We've experienced breeze, we've experienced strong winds, we've experienced stormy weather. So when the air is moving horizontally from a high pressure area to a low pressure area, it is called as wind. And the speed of the wind or the intensity or the force of the wind will depend upon how much difference is there between a high pressure area and a low pressure area. If the difference is more, the wind speed will be more, if the force of the wind will be more. And if the pressure difference is less, wind speed automatically will be less. Wind speed is measured by anemometer and wind direction is measured by a wind vane. The next element is clouds. Cloud is a part of your water cycle. So evaporation happens. After the evaporation, condensation happens. So cloud is a form of condensation. So when water droplets in the atmosphere, they condense around dust particles, cloud gets formed. And clouds are classified according to the height, shape and form. They are of the following four types. One is called as nimbostratus, which is definitely rain clouds. They will cause rain, and they are thick, dark and black. They are found just below 2 kilometers from the surface of the earth, and they spread out in layers and are responsible for rain or snow. The second type of cloud is stratus. It indicates fair weather. Weather found below, it is also found below 2 kilometers and are spread out in sheets. That means they do not cause any amount of rainfall. They give a fair, pleasant weather. So you must have seen sometimes the sky is very, very blue and you find small, small woolly like cotton like clouds spread all over, but rain doesn't happen. So those kind of clouds are called as the stratus clouds. Cumulus clouds, they are sometimes cause rain with thunder and lightning, and they are found between a height of 3 to 6 kilometers, and they are generally cauliflower shaped. And the fourth type is the cirrus clouds. They are made up of crystals of ice found between 6 to 12 kilometers and are feathery and fibrous in shape. So this is for now. I am making a short video because this is a little topic. These are topics which you haven't studied earlier, and therefore I would like you to I like you to have a smaller amount to study. I don't want to give you a lot of material to study for now. The rest, which is very less, which is left, I'll be sending it in the next video. Bye bye for now.